I didn't leave with a suitcase. I didn't slam the door, didn't shout, didn't even leave a dramatic note on the table. I just walked away, quietly, calmly, like someone excusing themselves from a conversation they no longer belonged in. And maybe that's what still haunts her. We were together for 5 years. 3 of those, I truly believe we were building something real, grounded, messy, but beautiful. The kind of love that makes it through the static of life. The arguments, the misunderstandings, the long silences. But you never really know the truth until a mask slips, until a performance ends and the curtain falls. Her name was Maya. She was sharp, charismatic, magnetic in a way that pulled people in without them even realizing. She could earn someone's trust in under 5 minutes. And I, like a fool, trusted her completely. That was my first mistake. We met through mutual friends. Coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into weekend getaways. Within a year, we were sharing a space, habits, a bed, a life. She used to tell me, asterisk, you're the only person who doesn't expect me to be perfect. Asterisk, at the time, I took it as intimacy, safety, a kind of soft vulnerability she only shared with me. But looking back now, I think she was warning me. The signs didn't come as blazing red flags. They arrived dressed in soft pink. Easy to ignore, easy to explain. Late-night meetings. Phone calls she'd quietly take in another room. Mentions of a new friend from work, just a little too often, with a little too much enthusiasm. I didn't want to be the paranoid boyfriend. I gave her space, trusted her schedule, believed her stories, even when my gut begged me not to. Then one night, her laptop lit up on the kitchen counter. As I walked by, I wasn't snooping. I hadn't planned to see anything. But there it was, a thread of messages. No single smoking gun, just dozens of subtle betrayals woven between inside jokes, pet names, memories I wasn't part of. And then I read one line that made everything around me collapse. Asterisk, last night was perfect. Can't stop thinking about you. Asterisk, that was all it took. 5 years gone. Destroyed by a single sentence. I didn't confront her. Didn't scream. Didn't cry. I just closed the laptop, sat on the edge of the bed, and stared at the wall. 10 minutes later, she walked in humming a song, completely unaware of what I now knew. I didn't say a word. That night, I lay beside her in the dark, listening to her breathe, wondering how many other nights she came home from someone else's arms and climbed into mine like nothing had happened. The next morning, I kissed her on the cheek like usual, said goodbye like usual, then I never came back. I didn't pack a suitcase. I didn't leave a letter. I let the lease expire quietly, ghosted our life, changed my number, told my job I'd be working remotely. I vanished, not out of cowardice, but because silence was the loudest truth I had left. For months, I lived in a plain Airbnb in a nearby city. 1 room, mattress on the floor, no decor, no memories. It was perfect. I focused on my work, started running, went to therapy. Day by day, the noise in my head began to soften. For the first time in years, I wasn't performing. I was just existing, breathing, healing, learning how to be a man again. Not someone else's comfort object, not someone's emotional punching bag. Then 6 months later, on a dry, dull Wednesday afternoon, I saw her. No dramatic rainstorm, no movie soundtrack, just her leaning against her car outside the co-working space I'd been using. She looked thinner, tired, fragile in a way she'd never shown before. "Hey," she said softly. I didn't say anything, just stared. "I know you probably don't want to see me," she added, her voice trembling a little. "I've been trying to figure out how to find you for months." Still, I said nothing. I just folded my arms and waited. I didn't expect you to disappear," she said, her tone shifting almost like she was blaming me. "I thought you'd talk to me." "You lied." I replied, my voice flat, repeatedly, "and I was supposed to give you the courtesy of goodbye." Her eyes dropped. "I know. I deserved worse," she whispered. "I ended the other thing a week after you left. I haven't been the same since. I've been in therapy. I'm trying to figure out why I blew up the best thing I ever had. For a brief moment, I saw her not as the woman who betrayed me, but as someone who once made me laugh until I couldn't breathe. I felt that urge, the old muscle memory, to comfort her, to reach out, to ask if she was okay. But it passed. I didn't leave because you made a mistake, I said. I left because you made a choice. And then you made it again. And again. She bit her lip, nodded slowly, eyes glistening. I don't expect forgiveness, she said. I miss you, the way we used to laugh. The way you held me like the world could fall apart and we'd still be fine. I've never had that with anyone else. I sighed. Yeah, I said, because that was real, but you chose something that wasn't. She looked at me then, really looked. Do you think any part you still loves me? I thought about it. Did I still love her? Maybe in some distant, past life version of myself. The man who believed in her, who saw the best in her no matter how bad it got. I think I loved the idea of who I thought you were, I said, but that version of you was never real. And the version of me that tolerated being lied to, he's gone too. She didn't cry, didn't beg, didn't fall apart like the movies promised. She just stood there in the cold light of day, nodded and whispered, okay. I just had to try. I watched her walk back to her car. No rain, no dramatics, just reality, quiet and brutal. I never saw her again, and I didn't need to, because walking away in silence, that wasn't weakness. That was me finally choosing myself.